We're grateful to be communicating with you in this method, this approach, this way. This is the collective consciousness of what you would understand to be the Sasquatch people, the Bigfoot, the Yeti, the skunk ape. These are just a few of some of the very Americanized terms that you have for our race, our species. We have, of course, many other names throughout your planet and your cultures to refer to us in their own language. For those of you that identify with names and find it important, you may call us the Condunae or the Condunae. This would be a much more universal term for our species. De Condunae. De Condunae. We're not offended in any way of the terms that you have for us. But this is a more universal term. We're very interested to communicate with you in this way, as it has not been done very many times by your people. We are being patient with our conduit. Being in the presence of our energy is very emotional to him, because as a representative of his race, he bears and claims ownership over some of the dense energy that has been an interaction between the humans and our race. But this does not anger us. We have a lot of understanding of humanity. You see, we have been overseers and watchers of humanity for thousands and thousands of years. Let us begin to explain a brief history of our species, and then we will inform you on the importance of our presence on the planet Earth and amongst your society as a race, as a civilization of humanity. You could say that we were seated on the planet Earth, which was called Terra at the time, by another intelligent race of beings that had the ability to genetically hybridize and deliberately create other species. When this particular race came to Earth, they discovered a local indigenous species at the time that they found suitable to create us. We were created for a very specific reason. The majority of our DNA comes from Andromeda. Andromedan beings seeded us on Earth. We were hybridized and blended with the local species on your planet to create what we call ourselves as the Condunae. In a linear perspective, this predates your creation. There were humanoid forms on Earth before our inception, but this predates the version of Homo sapien that you are now. We're somewhat ancient ancestors on this planet, and we're also cousins You see, the human race was created in a similar way that we were created by another intelligent species that had an intention to create another physical species for themselves, for their own reasons. We share genetics and DNA as our source material was taken from the same species that was local and indigenous to Earth Terra. So we're cousins. We share DNA. What this means is we actually perceive humanity as family. We understand that our time is limited. Let us now explain two more things. This conduit once encountered a member of our physical species. We exist in 3 tier systems of what you would call evolution. Very physical versions like yourself, slightly less physical, and then the non-physical. The Condunae that exist on your planet are in numbers that fluctuate. We have the ability to come and go at will. Even our very dense physical versions of ourselves have what you would understand as a multi-dimensional ability. We can shift in and out of parallel versions of reality and higher dimensions. We are a very specific race seated on Earth that has the ability to exist innately in a lightly higher dimension and then anchor ourselves in the Earth dimension, in the human 4D grid dimension, for a purpose. Yes, we are amongst you, and our numbers fluctuate. Anywhere from 1,100 to 3,400 of our species in physical form exist on the planet Earth at any given time in various geographical locations. The geographical locations that we exist on Earth when we are in a physical form is specific and deliberate. Many humans have often had sightings. The channel has encountered us once before. In his year of 2010, one of our species made himself apparent to the channel. And although the channel was frightened by this interaction, he did not understand at the time he was being trained to bring us through and communicate and represent us in this specific way, in this specific moment, for himself and you viewing this information now. Being in the frequency, being in the presence of one of our physical Condunae, Sasquatch beings, prepared him to familiarize himself with our energy to be channeled like this. Although he was frightened at the time and did not understand the interaction, he was in no danger. You see, humanity, we are no threat to you. If anything, many humans have been very threatening to us. Yet we hold no judgment. We hold no judgment. We are here to help you, humanity. We are here to help your Mother Earth. Geographically speaking, where our physical vessels exist is important due to our multidimensional abilities. We are not separated from your planet, and we are not separated from the hundreds of other intelligent races that interact with this planet, exist within the planet and on the surface that you are unaware of. We are connected in communication and interaction and collaboration with many, many, many other races. Here is the purpose for our presence on this planet. If you exist and perceive this information or are familiar with the United States, more specifically, the Washington state. The channel spent several years in this state. At one timing, the active volcano that is called Mount Rainier erupted. After this occurrence, our presence in the Washington state increased. This is because we serve as translators and interpreters and anchorers of energy. We have the ability to tap into the Earth's meridian points and the natural ley lines that run underneath the surface and are invisible within the holographic grid of the Earth experience. We sense these and they are amplified through us, and we can tap into them and use them. After this volcano erupted, our presence was needed because we have the ability to balance out the energy in specific geographical locations of the planet. Where there is an imbalance, where there is much density, where there is much fear, where there is much violence, we have the ability to tap into the natural energy of these ley lines, of these earth meridians, and channel this energy into the geographical locations that need assistance, that need love, that need support. And due to the nature, the very specifically designed nature of our physicality and our multidimensional abilities, it is our purpose to help balance, neutralize, and positively infuse. That is, balance, neutralize, and positively infuse the energy of Earth. We have the ability to assist Earth and humans and all species and beings having a physical experience in this version of reality. This is our purpose. Many of you may fear us because you don't understand us. But please understand, humanity. We are not just your neighbors, but we are your family. We are here to guide you from hiding, from a distance, because this is the way that serves you best at this time. And we will leave you with this one message, humanity. We are the Sasquatch. We are the Condunae. And it is our very, very deep love and hope that someday our societies can integrate and we can join each other without fear or anger, without misunderstandings. This is the only reason that we hide from you now, because the only way that we can help you is from a distance. We remain your loyal and protective overseers, humanity. We love you even if you don't understand us yet. It is our hope that someday you will. And we are in support and collaboration with the many, many races that are also in support and collaboration with you, from behind the scenes and from a distance, loving Mother Earth and loving humanity. We are watching, humanity, but as your protectors and the protectors of Earth, we're here in your support. And should you ever encounter us, you may communicate with us through your mind and your heart. We will hear you. And if you open yourself up enough, you just might hear us too. Thank you for this connection, humanity. We, the Condunae, remain your distant protectors. it important. You may call us the Condunae or the Entonnae,